We're recording. All right, I'm super excited to be on with you guys and Ashley. Ashley and I are both busy moms who are making it all work somehow. So, I guess I'm going first. My name is Felicia. I live in Utah. I've lived here. Backstory: I'm from Arizona, but I live in Utah now for the last 15 years. I have 5 kids. I'm a massage therapist. I work part-time owning my own business, and I'm also a fitness instructor, and I do that about 5 days a week. So kind of in and out everywhere in between kids' schedules. I have a 13-year-old down to a almost 5-year-old. So it's a little crazy and a little hectic. So I understand the whole mom priority thing going on. So how I got started, I've always kind of been into fitness a little bit. I taught water aerobics when I was younger in high school. And then after having kids, I just kind of stopped. And I would do races here and there to kind of get into shape. And that was about it. And that was the extent of it. I did a gold pass for a while. But I started after I'd had Connor. I took a before picture of me. He was born in August of 2012. I took a before picture in March of 2013. And I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I let myself go? I thought I was doing great. I could fit in my clothes and I thought I was doing fantastic. And I saw that picture and I was like, I've got to change something. And so I started taking classes at the rec center doing Insanity Live and fell in love with it. Hated it so much that I fell in love with it. I was like, what is going on? And it took me about 8 months to like finally fall in love with it and see results of where I wanted to be. In the meantime, during that winter, I was getting really sick and having in and out sinus infections. And I was like, what is going on? And I ate chocolate one day, just like a normal M&M chocolate, and my throat felt like it was closing off, and it freaked me out. And so I stopped cold turkey eating sugar, like stopped. Don't know how I did it, but I did. And I did that for 7 months, no sugar. And I felt amazing. I had so much energy, and I had cleaned up my eating habits. And for me, I thought eating a salad was with ranch, and that was my clean eating. So that's kind of how I got started into the whole fitness, getting it back and trying to figure out how I could have more energy with eating less crap. And so I really changed my eating habits, worked out here and there, and kind of just focused more on that. I got started. I loved the Insanity class, and I was like, how do I do that? And so I took a Saturday certification class, and I got started teaching a month later after my certification Insanity, which scares the living crap out of anybody, including myself. And that's kind of started my snowball effect of where I am today and how often I teach and my love for fitness. In the meantime, my sister had started with the company, and she was like, you just need to try it. And I was like, I don't want it. I said no for 6 months, and I was like, I don't want any part of what you're doing. I was like, I'm doing fine without it. But I was seriously lacking something because I was still so tired during the day, especially with 5 kids. And my doctor was like, it's just you have 5 kids. You're just tired. And it's nothing of what you're doing. You're just a mom and you're tired. And I was like, no, I need something else in my life. And so I started researching a little bit more, and my sister gave me some samples of the product, and I tried it, and I was like, this stuff is amazing. And I felt so great for the 2 days that I tried it. I was like, all right, I want to help people, because I was already helping people. I just wasn't getting paid to do it. And she was. And I was like, oh, well, I was like, well, I want to be a part of that. I want to help people and get paid to help change people's lives. And so that was kind of the gist of my story. And I honestly didn't do anything for the first year. I helped maybe 2 people. And I was like, I'm doing great. I was really just involved in my teaching and really focusing my time on teaching and building just kind of my classes. And I wasn't focused on the coaching aspect at all. I didn't want to do anything with the business. And then I attended a summit that we just got home from, and pretty much changed my life and my outlook on how I saw the business. And it's been uphill since then. And it's been great to see the growth and to see where I plan on going and to actually dream bigger than I've ever dreamed before. We're still living in the same house that we lived in. We bought it 2 months after we got married, and we've been here 15 years. It's our 5-year house, and we've been here 15 years. Yay for us. But it's been great. Like, it's been a great home to raise our kids and to be here. But along the way, we've had our bumps and our bruises, and we invested money and lost all the money. And so we were kind of stuck here. And that really sucks, to be stuck somewhere and you can't physically do anything about it. And so finally, we're kind of getting in the uphill battle, or it's like we're seeing some progress and we're like, okay, now what do? We just need to sell or stay here, or what do we want to do? But I myself have huge dreams, and I want to buy my house, and I want to build a house because I know what I want. I've thought long and hard about what I want to build and how I want it to be built. That's kind of where I plan on going. My husband and I have kind of the similar outlook on where we want. We want a lot of land for our kids to play and to run and to not be stuck in a city. And you just can't have that in Provo unless you want to spend $1 million. And I'm just not making that yet. So that's kind of where I plan on going. I would love to move to the country, still be close to the city. And I know what I want, and I have huge dreams, and I know that it can be possible because I've seen it in my own life and me. I've seen her support her family for the last year, and I've seen lives change, and I've seen people get results and feel that they just get alive with the company, and they just feel like a rejuvenated self. And where my dreams are headed in building a team, my team is growing. It's not growing as fast as some other people's teams, but it's growing, and it's so fun to see that growth and get people excited about the opportunity and to understand that they can dream big, because I didn't believe in myself. I've had zero self-confidence my whole life. Not that my parents ever instilled that in me, but I didn't feel like I was worthy of anything of that sort. And so my confidence level was really low, and it's taken a lot to get it built up, and it's easy to get it built down, like just to be stomped down and have to build yourself back up again and climb up that ladder. It's really hard on a daily basis of that battle. Another dream of mine is to take care of my dad. My mom passed away 3 months ago. She ended her life. She committed suicide, and that was awful. And to have to deal with that and the repercussion of that for my kids and myself, I have to take care of my dad. I don't have to, but I want to, because he's ultimately alone. And that's another reason why I'm pushing so hard, is he has 7 more years to retire. Sorry. And he's already had back surgery after back surgery, and the doctor keeps injecting him with cortisone, and he said, you're not going to last another 7 years. And he's like, I need to last the 7 more years so I can get my full retirement, for his pension, for his retirement. And that scares me that he won't have that income coming in. And he's by himself. And so I feel like he's my 6th child that I have to take care of now. It's my duty as the oldest to help him and take care of him. And I want the best for him. And I wasn't able to be there for my mom. And so my drive and my purpose is a lot deeper now, because I want to help people with depression and addiction and the things that are hurting them and really causing them pain. I want to be that person. And I know fitness isn't going to change everything, but it'll be an outsource and an outlet for somebody to release that energy that's built up, or that anger, or that fear, and help them build that confidence up and have something to look forward to. And the support and the groups that we have really helps create that, so they have somewhere to turn and some outlet to turn to. And the reason I can't help my mom, you have to want the help. And so now I just have a bigger purpose and a bigger why of why I'm doing it, is to help her and to help him, and to just build dreams upon dreams and make it come true. How I plan on making it all happen is just grit. I won't lie to you and tell you that it's super easy, because there's moments that I've wanted to quit and just throw my hands in the air and be like, I'm done. I'm absolutely finished with this. It's work. It's going to take work. I was like, anything easy in life takes work. Or, oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted to say. Anything that is worth fighting for is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but it's absolutely worth it. To see the end result after your hard work is something that is so satisfying. And I feel like nowadays everything is just entitled and it's given to you, and that's what they expected. And for me, I was instilled to work hard and to work hard. And that's what I hope that I'm instilling in my kids, to show them that if I work hard, this is what's going to happen. The result is going to come from my effort and my hard work and the diligence that myself and my team put into it. The results are going to be absolutely amazing and astounding to see at the end. That's a little bit about me in a nutshell. Sorry to get emotional, but yeah, that's the whole reason I'm here, is to just help more people and save more lives. So Ashley, take it.
Okay. Can you hear me? I'm not muted, am I?
No, I didn't.
It's really hard to follow that. Thanks a lot. Oh my gosh. So a little bit about me. I grew up in California in the Bay Area. My parents still live here. And I've lived, seems like a long time now, more than a decade in Washington State with my husband. He grew up there. We have 3 kids. And ever since I was a little girl, I guess I wanted to be a nurse. I didn't even remember this really about myself, except a friend found like a little piece of paper where you wrote like, you know, what you want to be when you grow up. And I guess I said that I was a nurse, or I wanted to be a nurse. And the only reason I really remember thinking this is because I knew a couple of people from my congregation at church that were nurses, like women, you know, my mom's age, and they were so sweet and they were so kind. And they had this like real personal, like, you know, connectedness with people that I wanted that. So I totally thought that I knew like where I was going in life. And I had, you know, these dreams as a little girl. And obviously that didn't mean that I knew anything about what it meant to be a nurse. I just knew that these people were great and I wanted to be like them, right? So after, you know, putting these goals into action and taking all my prerequisites, I applied to like the nursing school of my dreams and was rejected like 3 times, even though I was told that I had all the credentials, and they even told me, quote, that I should consider a different career. This totally crushed me at the time. I thought like, what's wrong with me? And I, you know, but that didn't like deter me. And so I ended up applying to like more than 10 schools in different states. And this was after I got married, and had like I was rejected from like 3/4 of them. And I was like, am I really supposed to do this? You know, so frustrated. And I was finally accepted into nursing school. I loved it. I got my degree. I landed a job in the ICU. And, you know, it was really challenging and really grueling, but I totally loved it. And I like looked forward to work every single day, which I'm not sure a lot of people can say, right? I felt pretty lucky in that regard. And I think mostly what I loved about it is, I mean, that I was like, you know, I was really mentally challenged by, you know, by the medicine part of it, but the connectedness with people, right? The feeling like I really helped someone, or, you know, whether it was, you know, usually it was in a really bad spot where they were really, really ill, or I helped their family or something like this, right? And so I loved that part of it. So less than a year after starting my job as an ICU nurse, my son Bennett was born. And less than 2 years after that, my son Graham was born. And it was, you know, it's like once you start having kids, you're like, where are they coming from? Kind of. I felt like that. And life continued on. I moved to a couple of different spots within the hospital. And then after my daughter Ruby was born, I suddenly felt like I can't leave her. I don't know what the change was. I mean, it was more difficult to juggle 3 kids. You know, it was far more expensive to have childcare. I really wasn't making a lot of take-home pay. It didn't mean that I loved my job any less. I totally loved my job, but I felt like I have to reevaluate, right, my goals. And at the time, I was paying the entire mortgage, right? My husband and I had this 5-year plan where we bought this expensive house and I would pay the mortgage. And then at 5 years, he would hopefully be able to make enough so that I didn't have to work anymore. So in my mind, you know how you like set these things in your mind, like you said about your house, Felicia, it's like I had this idea in my mind, and then the 6-year mark rolled around and I was like, what are we doing? Wait, what happened? Right? And that's right when my daughter was born. And I went back to work to try it to see if it would work, and it didn't work. I was like, for the first time, really, really emotional to be at work, even though I was only working 2 days a week. So like a miracle dropped out of the sky, and my husband was able to actually find a new job. And I was able to stay home with the kids. And I've actually been a stay-at-home mom now for 2 years. So like a lot of people ask me like, why is it that I still like work from home, and I'm a health and fitness coach? But I think it was a hobby. It totally was to begin with. It was selfishly, completely for me, right? At the beginning, I just wanted to stay accountable. But then I realized like how amazing I felt. And I realized how amazing the people were that I was helping. And like you said, Felicia, like only a couple people, but it was like so rewarding. And like their stories were all so different and also amazing. I thought like this could really be something, right? So I'm just looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. So there was like this, I guess when I became a mom, like this surreal shift. And I think any parent maybe could experience this, where you feel like I'm suddenly in charge of someone's life. I felt like kind of like amazing. Like I grew that baby, they're fine, you know, like, and I felt like really empowered. And I feel like that was one reason that propelled me into like being a health and fitness coach. And I just couldn't shake this feeling I had from the time I was a little girl that like I was meant to do like bigger things. I didn't even know what they looked like. In fact, I first thought that it was being a nurse, like being in an intense ICU setting. I totally thought that's what it was. But every now and then I get this feeling, I think like, what is that even about? And I'd ignore it and then it would come back. And I really think that feeling I was experiencing was this lifestyle I've chosen, this, you know, taking care of myself, helping other people take care of themselves. I'm really passionate about helping other moms because I feel like I know so much what they feel. And so I had to get really clear about my goals as to why I was doing this, because when my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning and I'm flipping tired and I just want to bang my head against the wall and I want to go back to sleep. Like I have to have a very, very clear idea of why I need to get up and get moving so that I can get my stuff done before my kids get up. So my two goals, my first goal was financial freedom. I have a big goal of paying off every single debt that we have. So my husband still has law school debts. We want to pay that off. And we have some car loan debts and of course our mortgage, right? So I want to pay all of that off. And I know that sounds crazy, but I know that's going to give me like the financial freedom and peace of mind to live a big, rich life. And that's my second goal. And I don't mean rich, money rich. I mean rich in purpose, rich in life experiences, the ability to have freedom with my time, right? And so, you know, I want you to think about what your goals are. Like if you could, you know, you don't have to tell me, but I want you to think about it when our call is done today. And I want you to think about something really scary. Like if I could really have this, would that be like so amazing in my life? Because I feel like if you don't set goals that scare you, they're not big enough, right? If I had told you, if like I could see into the future from like 2 years ago and I could see myself here, I'd be like, there's no way I will do that. I would not even believe it myself, right? But it's just daily, you know, activities. And like Felicia said, like pure grit and just like hard work, right? One of my favorite quotes, and I can see we're running low on time, but one of my favorite quotes is by a lady whose name is Marianne Williamson. And it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And every time I read that, I'm like, yes, that's totally it. Like so many of us, just like we don't live up to our full potential and we could. And in fact, by doing that, we would be so much happier, right? So I know that you have a story just like I do. Your story is probably totally different than mine, right? Because you are unique and you are different. But I know that your story is powerful. And I know that if you share your story in a way that is positive, people will be able to connect to it. I don't mean positive like all fluffy and roses, like you can be real. And if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm totally real. I just mean in a way that you add value to people's lives. That is so much of what we do as coaches, just try to build people up and help them believe in themselves. We know they can do it. They have to know that they can do it, right? And as I finish here, I just want you to think about what I said, your two big goals. Mine were financial freedom and living a big, full, purposeful life. And so I want you to take those goals and I want you to write them somewhere you can see every day. It might be somewhere where like your kids or your spouse or a family member sees them every day, so that they know you're like in this new frame of mind and this new mindset, right? And I think that's it. I don't know, I talk so fast. But unless Felicia, you have anything else to add, I think we'll open it up for questions, right? Can unmute everyone here.
Lisa at the station.
Does anybody have questions?
I'm sorry you've decided to do this.
You can mute yourself if it's loud in the background.
I actually gotta find a place.
There's a hotel in Shropshire that has a room. I'm sure you'd be much better.
I know it's scary to ask questions, honestly. But questions, there's no wrong question ever. Like, we asked a question when we were in New Orleans. We're like, was this underwater? And the waiter was like, looked at us like that was a stupid question. And we're like, no, really, was it? Like, we don't know. So, but he made us feel really stupid, but it wasn't a stupid question. So, anybody? Candy, I can't really see you. There you are.
Candy and I used to work at the hospital together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I do love that. I don't know. I wish you guys could see like an ounce of what goes on when we go to Summit, or hearing motivational speakers, or just an ounce of seeing the challenge winners up there when they're on the stage and they are telling their story and their before pictures and their after pictures. It is so motivating and moving to see that. I have an uncle who was close to 500 pounds, and he had lost weight and gained it all back, and he was literally on his deathbed. And he made a decision right then and there that he was going to change his life. And it was nothing to do with anybody else, but he made a decision. It was either I'm going to lay here and die in my bed at my house, or I'm going to get up and move. And he got up and moved. And now he is like a size 32. Like, he's lost a couple 100 pounds, and he looks amazing, and he has so much energy, and it is fascinating and amazing to see, because he's never been this skinny ever. Like, I always remember him being my big Uncle Bud, and we would just love him to death because he was just a big guy. And it's awesome to see one decision can lead to such success. Like, I wish you guys, I don't know, it just like fires me up and makes me excited. But if you guys have questions, we would love to answer, or if you want to talk to Ashley or myself after whoever invited you, like, that's totally awesome too. But
so I have a quick question. As far as, are you talking like how to build your team up with people, or like where did you start, or are you more also like for how you can help people? So kind of a two-parter. Like, are you looking forward to building your team, or also for more consumers?
What do you mean exactly? Like, are you?
Sure. Well, like hearing your stories and building your business. And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, so how, like, your goals as far as helping or like building your team, like what does that involve? Or
So that just means that, you know, we have, and you and I have talked about this, I think, a little bit, right? We have these challenge groups.
right.
And usually from a challenge group, people fall in love with the workouts and fall in love with the, you know, the habits and the lifestyle and, you know, the people in the group. And then a lot of times they decide to become coaches because they want a discount on the products,
Mm-hmm.
which you get 25% off, or because they just love Beachbody and they you know, they feel it as this positive force in their life. Right.
Right.
So, and when people become coaches, they, you know, sometimes they feel like so much passion and fire, at least we do, right? That they want to help more people, and then those people become coaches, and that kind of becomes your team.
Gotcha. Right.
And that's, I mean, if you're, that's kind of how you build an income, right? I mean, it is how you build an income, by building a team and kind of this like ripple effect of people joining your team, right? Kind of this whole, you know, group of people that are under you.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. But when I started this, I was working full time, and I was like, let's see, I only had 2 kids at the time, and I only did it in the cracks of my day. That's all I did. Like, wake up, send out a couple invites, like message some friends, like post my before and after photos. Like, it was only what I could do, right? And that's how I started, because if somebody had told me like, you need to do this and you need to do this, that totally would have stressed me out, and I would have said no. So I only built it in the cracks of my day, and little by little, I felt like I could do a little more here and there, and I could see
Right.
as my kids got older, it became a little easier, and now I'm able to work more.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like work because I totally love it. Like, this stuff makes me really nervous, but like, checking into my challenge group, I love that, free
Mhm.
groups, I love that stuff. So
Mhm. Cool.
Ashley,
yes.
this is Cynthia. Hey, I love
hey,
your
Cynthia.
challenge things. Hi.
Hi.
I'm the old woman here who I used to exercise, but now I have some health issues. So for me, I like the challenges because it helps to remind me to eat right, and and I have to cook for one. I'm in the opposite direction than you girls because I've raised my kids, and I'm the empty nester, but I just work and, help my family. And so cooking for one is hard, but I love the recipes. I love I have to be conscious of staying healthy. And there's a real great energy that you provide that's hard to find anywhere else. And I love that. You're
Well,
wonderful.
Thank you. I think that's what it's about, though. That's why I feel like what Felicia was saying, it's so much bigger than fitness. It's positivity, right? It's
energy. It's a real energy. Yeah. It's palpable, and it makes a difference. It's like when someone smiles and souls connect or something. You know what I mean? It makes a difference, and that makes a difference on a daily basis I guess whether you're really happy and living fulfilled and feeling like you're noticed as a human being or not. And that's wonderful. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate all your comments and your encouragement.